Hi there, my name is Mr. Pete, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm wearing my Cleveland Indians jersey because I have literally spilled coffee on everything else I was wearing today. So I am down to my tribe jersey. But I'm excited to read K.T. Camillo's A Tale of Despereaux. We are about to start chapter 38, To the Dungeon, and we've been left with all of this stuff really about to happen. To the dungeon again. We've been to the dungeon several different times. The difference now is, as they're going to the dungeon, this is Miguel, Roscuro, and taking Princess P to the dungeon to leave her there to die. Despereaux is in the pantry, in the kitchen, and Gregory is lost in the maze of the dungeon. So, let's find out what happens with this plan. And when does Despereaux enter the picture? Chapter 38, To the Dungeon. The strange threesome made their way down the golden stairs of the castle. The princess and Meg walked side by side, and Roscuro hid himself again in the pocket of Meg's apron, and Meg pointed the sharp tip of the knife at the princess's back, and together they went down, down, down. Repetition. The princess was led to her fate as around her everyone slept. The king slept in his giant bed with his crown on his head and his hands crossed on his chest, dreaming that his wife, the queen, was a bird with green and gold feathers who called his name, Philip, 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 without ceasing. Cook slept in a too small bed off the kitchen, dreaming of a recipe for soup that she could not find. Where did I put that? She mumbled in her sleep. Where did that recipe go? It was for the queen's favorite soup. I must find it. And not far from Cook, in the pantry, atop a bag of flour, slept the mouse Despereaux, dreaming, as you know, reader, of knights in shining armor, of darkness, and of light. And in the whole of the darkened, sleeping castle, there was only the light of the candle in the hand of Miguel. The candle shone on the princess's dress and made it sparkle, and the princess walked tall in the light and tried not to be afraid. In this story, reader, we have talked about the heart of the mouse, and the heart of the rat, and the heart of the serving girl Miguel. But we have not talked about the heart of the princess. Like most hearts, it was complicated, shaded with dark, and dappled with light. Highlight dappled, that is a great word. The dark things in the princess's heart were these: a very small, very hot burning coal of hatred for the rat who was responsible for her mother's death. And the other darkness was a tremendous sorrow, a deep sadness that her mother was dead, and that the princess could now only talk to her in her dreams. And what of the light in the princess's heart? Reader, I am pleased to tell you that the P was a kind person, and perhaps more important, she was empathetic. Highlight empathetic. Do you know what it means to be empathetic? Post below if you do, because I think our narrator is about to tell us. I'll give it a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. I will tell you what it means. It means that when you are being forcibly taken to a dungeon, when you have a large knife pointed at your back, when you are trying to be brave, you are able still to think for a moment of the person who is holding that knife. You are able to think, oh, poor Meg, she wants to be a princess so badly, and she thinks that this is the way. Poor Meg, what must it be like to want something that desperately? That, reader, is empathy. And now you have a small map of the princess's heart: hatred, sorrow, kindness, empathy. The heart that she carried inside her as she went down the golden stairs and through the kitchen, and finally, just as the sky outside the castle began to lighten, down into the dark of the dungeon with the rat and the serving girl. Here we go. So we know that she's got a little bit of dark too, and she doesn't like that rat, but she also has light. She's empathetic for Miguel. Chapter 39, missing. We know who's missing, but we're going to stop there, and we will pick up where we left off on the next page. but that's way too getting ahead of ourselves. Please make sure you click like, subscribe, click that bell, leave those comments, tell a friend, then tell another friend, then have those friends tell 2 friends. And let's see if we can get it up to 1,000. We're up to like 575 right now, which is awesome. Shooting for 1,000, that'd be really cool if I could get 1,000 by the end of May, by the end of the year, ever. All right, thank you so much for subscribing. Have an amazing day. See you on the next page